Mobile, welcome.
Hey, were you looking for my coffee cup there?
Yeah, I was kind of looking around. I'll cheers you. Clink for that.
Yeah, I'm so excited that we are back today with another podcast on telling the world how they can do some good.
Another do some good. So if you guys are not in tune with the publication, it's live, it's launched. We have it both in print format that you can find on a number of locations and local businesses and all these organizations that are in here. Also online on our website, themobilerundown.com. If you want to check out the digital version, it's basically going to come out in pretty much every newsletter for the rest of the year. We're going to be promoting this in some form or fashion as we recap all these interviews and promote these organizations pretty much throughout the rest of the year.
Yeah. So we are going to bombard you with all the do some good you can possibly handle.
Pretty much going to bombard you. Yeah, in a good way.
Do it again next year. It's going to be great.
Exactly. So sit back, hang out, and we'll get back in just a second and tell you who we have on today. So I was thinking about some hints of how we would give people a hint of what organization's on. I was thinking oysters.
Okay.
I was thinking like sea turtles.
Okay.
Do you have a guess? Or should we just tell everyone?
I mean, I know already.
That's a good point. You do already know who we have. So we're excited. We've got Alabama Coastal Foundation, and we've got the director. We've got Mark, the director.
The man
with the plans. We're gonna bring him on. We're gonna chat about it. So, Mark,
hello.
How are you doing, sir?
I am well today. How are y'all?
We're doing good. Thanks for taking the time to hang out with us and chat about ACF. So we appreciate it.
Listen, it's such a great publication, and we're so happy to be a part of it.
Heck yeah!
Fantastic.
Thanks. Okay, so let's dive in. What I like to do is I kind of like to ask it this way. I like to say, hey, I'm a stranger. I come up on the street, we meet, and you tell me that you're the director of Alabama Coastal Foundation. Cool. But like, what is that? And like, what does that mean? Like, what would you tell me?
I actually, most of the strangers who I talk with, I do this anyway. So this is perfect. Alabama Coastal Foundation, we are, our whole mission is to improve and protect our coastal environment through cooperation, education, and participation. And when we say cooperation, that means we work with individuals, other nonprofit groups, governmental sector, private sector, small business, big industry. We don't care who you are, what political affiliation you have. As long as you're going to do something good for the coastal environment, we're going to work with you. And then we do a K through 12 education plus adult education, so that when people get that understanding, the participation part of our mission statement, give them very good volunteer opportunities to do something good about it. It's great to be aware and to know, but if you don't roll up your sleeves and do something about it, that's really kind of where we shine.
That's a great point. And then all ages is smart. That makes sense too, right? Like start early with education and what's going on, and then give them something to do. So like, what would be some of those examples of what some of these people could do? Let's say it's the younger folks. Like what are some of these opportunities to roll up their sleeves and actually take action with you guys?
Well, a lot of our volunteers actually volunteer their time in our education programs. We actually screen them before we put them into the schools and let them work with our youth and future leaders. And we do it, all of our education programs are free of charge, public or private, for the teachers. But yes, we have volunteer opportunities to do, help to do education. We also give, tree plantings. We did a sea oat planting a few years back. That's the cover of our annual report. That 8 inches out of the ground on East End Beach. If y'all been there recently, they're 8 feet tall sand dunes now with the sand fencing and everything. So it's wonderful, kind of what long-term benefits that there are, and we help cleanups and do recycling. Young folks will be happy to hear that the hangout, we literally just a couple days ago got word that Zero Hero, who we are subcontracted under, are doing letting us get their volunteers for recycling. So that'll be coming out in the very, very near future, and that's always a very popular one for y'all's age demographic.
Yeah, nice. And so I've seen some stuff about oysters and sea turtles. Maybe we can talk about both of those. But what is it with oysters that you guys are kind of involved with?
Yeah, and we do. So we do these free outreach events at restaurants and breweries, and we were at one place in the Floribama Yacht Club, actually December of 15, and the executive chef said, "Hey, people have been talking about doing an oyster shell recycling program here in coastal Alabama for decades. Y'all need to do something about it." There was a grant that came out literally 2 weeks later, and I was like, "This grant seems like it's an ideal thing to start it off." And in essence, and other cities have done it. Restaurants that sell oysters on the half shell, they used to throw them away and then pay somebody to take them to a landfill where they don't do anybody any environmental good, and it also hurts their pocketbooks too.
Yeah.
So the grant basically helped to educate the restaurants to say, hey, instead of doing that, y'all can put them in our recycling carts. We've got a person at 2 a.m. Monday, Wednesday, Friday drives around coastal Alabama restaurants and collects those shells. They have to sit outside for 6 months to cure, which just means they get all the butter and the biological stuff off before. Mother Nature does that very well with sun and birds and bugs. Clean them real tight, and then we get them back into the water, because an outside of an oyster shell is a favorite place for a new oyster to latch onto. And since December of 16, October 31st, we started. That was just the way it timed out. We have collected over 17.3 million shells, and each one of those shells, can have like 20 oysters growing off of them. Not all of them do, obviously, but it's one of those really cool programs that we learned from what New Orleans did, and apparently they learned from what Texas did, which learned what New York did. So it's one of those things we've paid it forward. Hopefully, in coastal Mississippi, they're going to start a similar program this year, excuse me.
That's incredible. So at what locations are these oysters put back into the water?
Yeah, we put all of the restaurants that support our program on our website, joinacf.org. So we've got a lot of different restaurants. Winsel's downtown, Mobile would be a good one to support, but we have tons on the Causeway in Baldwin County as well. And by the way, the worldwide headquarters for the Alabama Coastal Foundation is right over the Sanger Theater ticket box office. So if anybody wants to come and visit, all they have to do is make a phone call in advance. We still have our Fairhope 990 number, 900 number, but it's still, we became a statewide organization actually in 2012, but we still have some presence right downtown.
It's fantastic.
I'm just still thinking about this. I think you said like 17 million oysters. I'm still thinking like, that's crazy. We eat that many oysters over time. I'm like, man, people are taking down some oysters. It's crazy that hadn't been necessarily done before, but it makes so much sense to be able to repurpose those and recycle those. And which is, I don't know. I feel like that's an industry that people are just kind of like, I feel like people get interested in that, like the growing of oysters and oyster reefs and stuff. It's neat. I mean, I just think it's a cool thing. So
absolutely. Yeah. Well, and our cooperation part of our mission, it's not just ACF. We have the Nature Conservancy at our advisory committee, and the state of Alabama, the biologist there does oysters. So we basically try to work together, making all those decisions. And it was definitely a joint effort for the grant, but part of the second part of the grant is not only to start one, but to make sure it's self-sustaining. So about 60% of the money comes from the restaurants that used to pay that money to somebody else. But then the other one, we do have to fundraise. So that's why it's always some good is always a good thing to put that word out about.
Yeah, talking about fundraising, that's something I would love to jump into a little bit. So, I know COVID was a hard time for all the nonprofits that are out there, but in any year, at any time, fundraising is something that you guys rely on and depend on. So what are some ways that the community can get involved and help with your fundraising? I know you guys have some events. Y'all have a lot of events, actually. And so what are some events? What are some things that people can get out there and be involved with that will financially help benefit your organization?
We are literally today putting out notice about our sponsorship opportunities for our Good Life bicycle ride, which we do in Baldwin County. It's always the Saturday of Mother's Day weekend.
Okay.
So we do, we have plenty of opportunities throughout the year to sponsor some of our programs. And the reason we do bicycle rides, the more people we get out biking and kayaking and walking and running, the more they would actually like to protect the environment that they're in. It's one of the reasons we're, living down here. So, but we have our annual fundraiser, which is nicely placed in your publication, our Cocktails for the Coast, which is November 10th this year. That we do one big fundraiser. When I started 10 years ago, we had a bunch of fundraisers, and I was like, let's just focus on one. So there's some sponsorship opportunities for that event. We also, on our website, people can make donations straight into our website. We actually have Venmo for the first time. Always at Alabama Coastal under the business tab, not the personal tab, but you can make donations that way.
Nice.
We do checks, cash. We do gold doubloons now that Mardi Gras is here. So you just drop all those off for us, and we'll be happy to thank. It really does not happen without the support of our funders, and we do individual donations, corporate sponsorships, foundation grants, contract work, as well as selling merchandise. And there's I saw your coffee mug. There's tons of stuff on our website that you can purchase. Towels. We have reusable straws. We have really cool pint glasses that we pair with our all the coastal breweries. Exactly. So we have one. We are very happy to every time we sell a piece of merchandise, y'all are then now promoting the work of the Coastal Foundation. And 90% of the work that gets done is because of our volunteers. We have great staff that give good opportunities and good experiences, but without our volunteers, we are not able to accomplish as much as we have been.
Absolutely. And I know one of the bigger events that you guys have that is not necessarily a fundraising event, but it's a way for people to physically get involved is the coastal cleanup. And I know that happens in the fall, which I think is a fantastic once the beach season has ended and people are not necessarily out taking advantage of the locations, but this is a great time to clean it up. So tell us a little bit about the locations that people can go out to and how widespread Alabama Coastal Cleanup is.
And the Alabama Coastal Cleanup, which is again led by one of our partner groups that's called Alabama PALS in the state, and the Alabama Department of Conservation and Natural Resources. They have about 30 sites it's always the third Saturday of the month of September. Okay. And we try to promote all of those zones out there to get people to go out and, clean up stuff. And, all of our education programs have that, even though you didn't drop that piece of trash or litter on the ground, it's your responsibility to pick it up, because otherwise it'll make its way into the waterways. And, especially given our sea turtle conservation program, if any of those plastic bags, make it into our waterways, into the Gulf of Mexico, it looks like a jellyfish and they will die. So, we don't mind, putting it out there that, whatever you do does have an impact, not only on yourself, but also on our coastal creatures. And by the way, one of our fundraisers right now, or one way that you can help, we have a license plate, a Share the Beach license plate for our sea turtle conservation program. On our website, it's $50, and we have to get 1,000 signatures or commitments by end of July. That's an easy way. And then you get to promote a beautiful license plate, but you get to promote our sea turtle conservation program, as well as, there's sea turtle friendly flashlights that you can use instead of the really bad white ones out there. But we've got a lot of great ways for people to get involved.
So you said 1,000 signatures. Okay, I'm going to tell everyone that I know to get out there and sign that. That is incredible. So that's just another way that'll be a huge fundraiser for you guys once you get all the signatures that you need. Yeah. And so is that something? Yep. Exactly. I was going to say, is that something that y'all have to do every year, or is once you get it, you got it?
Once you get it, you got it, but you have to get it by the end of July is for us. And again, people go right to our website. They'll see it right there, joinacf.org. That's where all of the sea turtle information is. We have a live video feed of an osprey family on Wolf Bay that they can. It is very much a time suck. So be careful if you get in there. But if you're a third grade teacher, you can actually do your lesson plans on that.
Yeah.
Actually, one of the fifth grade programs I think we talked about earlier, our Coastal Kids Quiz is in progress right now. If you're a fifth grade teacher anywhere in the state of Alabama, public or private, you can sign up for free. You can get $100 for your classroom, and we have 2 more rounds. First one's on coastal insects next week, and then the last one's on sea turtles. So it's was really, it's a great way to educate our youth and keep them involved in learning about our coastal environment. But it also gives some incentives for teachers to participate in that program as well.
That's huge. Yeah. I hope all the teachers out there are listening. That's incredible that, whenever I don't teach, but I have a child in the school system, and, anything extra that you can do outside just to get a little bit more, and especially something that will hit home to a lot of these kids, is just incredible. So that is awesome that you guys provide that.
I wrote down turtles on my list because I wanted to make sure that we circle back to turtles.
He has been talking about these turtles. He wants to know everything.
Which we did. So it's on my life list, man, to eventually see some turtles hatch and make their way. I have not seen that yet. Now, granted, it's my fault. I have not put myself in the best opportunities in order to make that. I know it's not like something you buy a ticket to, right? Like Wednesday at 10 o'clock on this date, there's going to be a showing. That's not how it works, right? Like, isn't it? There's like a season, right? And
exactly. There is no Eventbrite thing to sign up for that. But we do. It's our sea turtle nesting season for the state of Alabama is May 1st, and then it rolls through end of October. So we are very fortunate to be able to have, so our coastline does have nesting turtles, which is why it's important that, the people who are on beachfront property to have their lights retrofitted. And we've got a program on our website that they can sign up for if you have a condo or a home on the beach. It's very easy to do to retrofit your lights so that they're not distracting to sea turtles. And to be honest with you, it's one of those things you want to do because you can get in trouble. It's a federally, protected species, so it's good for your own pocketbook if you go ahead and do the right thing there. And the cost of those, the fixtures and everything have decreased dramatically over time. So yeah, we're excited about that. But yes, you have to be trained, and you have to be trained, in the protocols the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service provide that are updated. We help to update those or suggest those to be updated every year. But it is an amazing program. We have about 500 volunteers who go out, every sea turtle nesting season, and you wake up early, very early, so you have to get your But we have it from end of, from all the way from west end of Dolphin Island all the way to the Floribama line. So we've, got plenty of opportunities for people to get involved.
What is it? Incredible. What is it that the light does to the sea turtles? What is the issue?
If a sea turtle is a mama turtle's trying to come up onto the beach and they'll see a light, they will probably go back in or get distracted by human activity. And so that's why you want to make sure, and the conditions for the hatchlings, same thing, that when they get, when they're ready to boil is what the name of it is. I don't like that term, but that is in fact what it is called. Whenever they're ready to leave the nest, they have a little scout that goes up, and then everybody goes, they have just enough energy to get to the coastline. And usually that's in the cover of night just because of predators and what have you. So having a distraction, if you're going opposite direction, that's not good. And again, you can get fined from that. I don't know, I can't believe I have to continue to say this. And usually it's from people who vacation here or come from afar. You do not, if there's a nest marked, do not touch it. There's a whole perimeter. Unfortunately, I think it was 3 years ago, somebody came from a different place and did that. There were other conditions, happening, but they did plead guilty, and so we don't put yourself in the situation to ever, be doing that. So it's like,
yeah, I'm sure there's clear signage. Don't go.
All your some people, do some good people will never ever do that. But if they see somebody out there, definitely, let us know. We've got a sea turtle hotline. That they can dial. I think it's 866 Sea Turtle. You spell it out, but you don't have to dial those last two letters there. But
yeah, that's wild. A Sea Turtle hotline. That's amazing. That's cool. That's cool. Okay. Well, yeah. Thanks for that. Eventually, maybe
we're gonna get you down there.
Eventually, at some point, maybe I'll dive in. Maybe I'll go through the training. Maybe I'll be on this turtle watch. Yeah. It may be 10 years from now. I don't know the answer, but it's seriously, it's actually on my a written life list, like bucket list that I have is eventually
we always say we meet people wherever they are in your journey. So
now we're talking.
Whenever it's ready, and then you come on over.
Now we're talking. I love it. And something else you mentioned too, to slightly switch gears. You talked about kind of partners in local breweries and stuff. What kind of partnership? I feel like y'all have done a beer, some collaboration or something in the past. What has been y'all's relationship there with that?
Yeah, well, again, being a statewide organization, whatever happens up north makes its way down here. So we partner with breweries all throughout the state.
Nice.
But our coastal ones are really special. They actually approached us, I guess it would be 2 years ago, right before the pandemic. We had a first ever collaboration brew is what they call it. But all of the breweries got together. They said, let's throw some hops in. They made some great beer, and it helped to raise awareness and funds for the Alabama Coastal Foundation. Didn't do it last year because of the pandemic, but this year we did it again. And it's been fantastic. It's got a little can that has our logo on it and all the other, all the coastal breweries, including Oyster City that just opened up. So we're very, very fortunate to be able to partner with so many breweries and restaurants and really all businesses. We have real estate, continuing education units for wetland compliance workshops for real estate folks who need CEUs as well as lawyers. That'll be June and July.
Okay.
And then we offer free training for police officers too. We have a free CEU about bicycle safety because we want to forget people out on bikes. We want to make sure people are safe, and the laws. We want to educate our law enforcement officers about what that is, just so that they'll have that. And again, that's free of charge through our website.
It's incredible. So you have been with ACF for, I believe, 10, 11 years now or so?
The gray hair shows 10 years. Yes, that is correct.
Well, he's losing all of his, so it's fine. It's one or the other.
I've had some great staff members like Sarah Johnson, who's our Sea Turtle director. I've had some great people helping out. So it's not just been me. And we have a fantastic board. I almost didn't apply for the job because I don't have a science background. And my predecessor, I said, should I even put my hat in the ring? She's like, Mark, they're looking for somebody like you who's got the nonprofit management side of things. And so I have people on my board and on my staff who are much smarter than me in terms of the science of things. And so I rely heavily on their benefits to really get the organization to where it is today.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
We are so thankful that you have stuck with it and helped grow everything here in Mobile. Go ahead.
No, please.
What is a way that if I wanted to know more, what is the best way? I know you guys have a newsletter that you send out, and I know that you guys are active on social media. So point people, anybody that might be listening or watching, point them in the right direction to find out more information.
The easiest way is to go to our website and sign up for our free updates. We do, again, monthly newsletters. We actually let you, if you want to do the as it happens updates, that's probably every other week. We have about 13 people who said, just send me your annual report, and we send them just our annual report. So you can, give your preference. And just to make sure y'all know, or everybody knows, we do not sell or give away any of our contact information. If you're signing up for us, that is, that was one of the things I did for 10 years ago. I was like, board, we need a privacy policy so that we don't, if somebody asks me to sell our stuff, I say, hey, I can't do that. It's one of my biggest pet peeves. If you're, signing up for something, you don't want it to be sold out on somebody else.
Right.
So all day long. Yes.
Oh my goodness. It really is. And I've said that probably way too many times to other groups I speak with. But bottom line is, if you sign up through our website, that is free of charge. We give those free updates. But our social media, we are on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all at Alabama Coastal is our handles. And we got our great coastal relations coordinator who was an intern, who now is our coastal relations coordinator, who handles all our social media. But really, they can call the office 990-6002 or just come by and visit as well. We just released our annual report. We released it a little late because of multiple reasons, but it's right there on our website. And we put our strategic plan for the 5-year. We put everything out there so that you'll see, who we are and how we operate. And the more people we get to learn and sign up, then the more people they'll tell as well to do the same.
Love it. Love it.
I think it's something that we take for granted, though. We live on the coast, and we can, we are just a hand's reach from our, areas that people literally travel from all over the world to come to. Keeping them in the best shape possible and as clean as possible, and being able to dive into these programs that you guys have made available, it's incredible. So just another way to keep Alabama, giving its best to its community and for people that are coming here to travel.
Yeah.
Right. And with Mardi Gras coming, is happening.
It is here.
City of Mobile for I think it's the third year in a row. All of those city workers are helping with recycling again. We had a group, I think y'all were one of our volunteers, are called the Eco Team that, since 2012, we had been helping out with recycling and doing that, raising awareness and all. City started taking that over, and if you're we encourage all the people to go to the parks. There are recycling receptacles there, but they have new purple cans too for litter. So make sure everybody who's going down and enjoying our Mardi Gras, having a safe and good time, to be able to help make it as clean as we can, and make sure it doesn't go down our storm drains. Again, that'll be in our waterways otherwise.
So you eat your moon pie and you take your plastic, you put it in your pocket and you throw it away. You don't just throw it on the ground, people. Come on, let's keep Mobile clean. But it does happen, and it is very easy to kind of get sidetracked in the world of Mardi Gras. There is a lot. We used to live on the parade route, and watching them clean. I mean, it will blow your mind if you see how much is left after a parade.
The cleaning crew is doggone amazing. Yeah, what they do is amazing, and I do get why people kind of toss this stuff, because it's everywhere, and if you're local, you kind of know it's going to come. But but just for people to think that through, especially if it's something that's going to blow around or not be contained, to just hold on to it and throw it away or whatever. So
absolutely,
that's a great point. Okay, final as we kind of wrap up, so you've already told us how to connect with you guys, which is awesome, but I always like to give you all an opportunity. If is there something that people don't ask you about ACF that you're like, I wish people would ask me this question, or just something that, if you were to highlight something, even something that we've already talked about, that you just really want people to know, or something you wish people were to ask you, what would that possibly be?
So we don't do advocacy in a specific, as a nonprofit, you can't like endorse a candidate or a political party. Mm-hmm. We can do legislation. And as of today, there is legislation in Congress to protect our Alabama's underwater forest. That is something that everybody can call whether you live here in Mobile or anywhere in the state or anywhere in the country. I spoke to a snowbird group last week. Actually, a couple of weeks, I've spoken to different groups. It's House bills. It's in the Natural Resources Committee. Congressman Carl has introduced that legislation. We're trying to get additional co-sponsors. But that right there, if we can protect Alabama's underwater forest, and if you're not knowing what that is, we have a documentary, Ben Raines. It's an award-winning documentary, and he's one of our advisory council members. It's put on our website free of charge. But then there's a little statement you can sign that says, I support this. If we don't protect that, people could, mine it. And basically, we want to protect it so that we can have positive ecotourism, not only now, but into generations to come. Because, you can then scuba dive on it, and, and people will come here to see something that the National Marine Sanctuary has 16 locations. This would be a 17, and it rivals, from my perspective, it rivals all the other ones that are in Hawaii and Florida and other places too. So that's something that anybody can do, that nobody, usually we are known for our education and our volunteer stuff. And that piece right there would be something very helpful for folks to do. All that, they can do that through our website. They can, sign up for all of that as well.
Love it. I mean, I just made a personal note for it. I feel like I had seen a headline about it, but I would like to dive in and look at that, get that closer and check it out. I didn't know that there were 16. You mentioned 16 other sites that are. I mean, to me, that's not that many. Are you talking about like in the United States, or like where are you talking about here?
So it's a national piece of legislation, and it protects the. It protects it, but it also gives some additional funds to be able to monitor that it's protected. but it helps to highlight the fact that, hey, people can scuba dive here, and it draws economic development and economic dollars to that. The last one was in Wisconsin. It was a shipwreck. Several shipwrecks in the in the lake there, and so because I was speaking to a snowbird group, and the next week I was speaking to a different set, and they said somebody told me to call my congressman, and they had literally just done it there, and so they are now on the radar to help make that happen. It's got to go through the committee to the full Congress, and with all the partisan stuff happening now, this is literally one of those nonpartisan things that everybody can support, and we need that desperately as a country, but also it's a really important thing for us to be able to get it through the Congress, both House and Senate, and then President Biden would be able to sign that into law this year. So we're very, very excited to make that as a positive thing for the state, and again, everybody's in support of this.
Well,
incredible.
I'm glad I asked that question and you got the ability to say that, because that's a huge piece of information that I wouldn't have known to ask. So I'm glad I gave you the opportunity to share it. So
thank you, Brooks.
That's awesome. Well, Mark, man, thank you so much for being with us. Thanks for sharing all your knowledge. Thank you guys for all that y'all do. And we just appreciate your time today. So
I sincerely, y'all, Mandy and Brooks, y'all do so much good for everybody in every different facet. So thank y'all for doing all this, and this invited me to be a part of the podcast. This has been fun. I've never done this video, this format. So, and I'm actually doing another one with the AARP of Alabama in a couple of weeks. So now you've made me me a little bit more at ease for the next time around. So
you're a seasoned professional now.
Yeah, you did great.
You're good to go.
Our hope is that this will reach the people that have not heard of you before, and that it projects them to do something to help the organization, and just them knowing about it is all that we hope for. So thank you so much for your time.
Heck yeah.
Thank you.
All right, Mark. Have a good one, man. Talk to you soon. Take care.
Bye.
That was good stuff.
That was good stuff.
That was a fun conversation.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
Do you know the Gulf Coast largest venue? I'm going to tie it all together, but just
what type of venue? Give me a hint.
Like an event venue.
Floribama.
No.
Hangout.
The Grounds. And so I want to give a shout out to the Grounds real quick. The Grounds actually made it possible for Alabama Coastal Foundation to be part of Do Some Good this year. We cannot make this publication possible without the amazing sponsors that we have, individual sponsors, business sponsors that we have that come in and really help these organizations highlight what they are doing and how to get the community involved. So thank you to the Grounds for making this happen. And thank you to Mark for taking time out of your day today to share everything that ACF is doing.
Heck yeah. That was a fun episode. All right, cool. Any final words, or we see them on the next one?
See them on the next one.
See you guys on the next one.